Managing emotions according to Buddhism, understanding and mastering emotions through the Dharma. In modern life, emotions play a decisive role in shaping happiness or suffering. When managed well, emotions become a source of wisdom and connection. When unmanaged, they lead to conflict, stress, and regret. Buddhism offers timeless methods to help us understand, observe, and master emotions so that instead of being controlled by them, we transform them into stepping stones toward peace and clarity. First, the Buddha taught that emotions themselves are not inherently good or bad. Anger, joy, fear, or sadness are simply natural responses of the mind when encountering situations. The real issue lies in how we respond. If we cling to anger or nurture fear, these emotions become destructive. But if we observe them with mindfulness, they arise, stay briefly, and then fade, leaving behind inner calm. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha said, "Though one may conquer 1,000 men 1,000 times in battle, yet he who conquers himself is the greatest victor." This highlights that mastering one's own emotions is the most profound victory, greater than any external achievement. A person who controls their emotions is not easily swayed by circumstances, but lives with balance and resilience. One of the most practical Buddhist tools is mindfulness. By paying attention to our breath and acknowledging feelings as they arise, this is anger, this is sadness, we create space between stimulus and reaction. Instead of instantly lashing out or being overwhelmed, we pause, breathe, and allow the emotion to settle. Often, just a few mindful breaths can transform a storm into a gentle breeze. For example, imagine a manager who feels frustration when an employee makes a mistake. Without mindfulness, he may shout and damage trust. But with Buddhist practice, he recognizes his rising anger, pauses, breathes deeply, and reflects. He then addresses the mistake calmly, turning a potential conflict into a learning opportunity. The result is growth, respect, and harmony, rather than hurt and resentment. Alongside mindfulness, Buddhism emphasizes compassion and wisdom. Compassion allows us to empathize with others, softening anger and envy. Wisdom reminds us that emotions are impermanent, like clouds drifting across the sky. By understanding this, we avoid drowning in sadness or clinging too tightly to joy. Balance arises naturally when we see emotions as temporary phenomena, not permanent identities. Another method is contemplating impermanence. All feelings change, no emotion lasts forever. Knowing this helps us avoid despair during painful times and prevent over-attachment during happy times. This perspective cultivates stability, joy without addiction, sorrow without collapse. Importantly, managing emotions in Buddhism does not mean suppressing or denying them. It is about transformation. Anger can be turned into understanding, sadness into compassion, fear into courage. Through consistent practice, the mind becomes steady, like a calm lake reflecting reality with clarity. The benefits of mastering emotions through Buddhist principles are profound. Relationships improve because communication is grounded in empathy instead of reactivity. Work becomes more effective because decisions are made with clarity rather than impulse. On a larger scale, societies that cultivate emotional awareness experience less conflict and more cooperation. To live this way, daily practice is essential. Simple steps include mindful breathing, short meditation,